Good afternoon and welcome back. We're going to talk about two things today. The first of two things is our workbook. Our workbook, of course, is for our portfolio project, our team-based challenge. And we need to have completed up to page 13 today. Page 13 includes documenting your senior year experience. If you need to work on page 1, 2, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, come on up and grab your workbook now, please. Again, if you need to work on your workbook, now's a good time to come grab it. Sellers, you're welcome. All right. So, you're welcome. Flores. Nice. Nice. Gordon. Shakira. You're welcome. You're welcome. That is nice. You're welcome. One more call for if you need to work up to page 13 of your workbook, please come grab it. The second thing that I'll share is this.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You need a pass?
Yeah.
Okay. Which class?
196.
Look at you.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Have a good weekend.
You too.
Thank you. The second thing we're going to talk about is this. Out of our entire class, the whole school year, what we're going to talk about next is, I feel, the most important lesson and message I can give you out the whole year. The reason why is because it is going to give you tools on how to live life beyond these school walls. It's going to take about half of the class period, but I am also recording it for us to review later if need be. The second thing we're talking about today has to do with this application whose deadline is today. The Wilco Summer Internship Job application is due today. As mentioned, if you are not yet 16 yet, then contacting ROE, the Regional Office of Education, Ours is in Will County, located in Joliet. It will help you get a work permit. Work permits are forms for students under the age of 16 that says, yes, you can work. If you are 16 or over, then you definitely can work. And this application is due for all of us today. But that led me to think about many of us have not worked outside of the home before, and job applications can be scary, or we do not know what they involve. So I want to spend some time today demystifying, breaking up the scary part about job applications. Today, posted inside Google Classroom, let me refresh it. Oh, no, that's not what I want. I want to make this launch now. That's going to be available to you all in about 30 seconds. It is going to talk about this application and the components of it, the pieces of it. So as I zoom in larger, dang, I do not want this scheduled, I want it posted. All right, there it is. It should be now available in your Stream tab of Google Classroom. As I zoom in larger so we could see it in the back, the application has a link that's on the bottom of this post. Job applications usually ask for who you are, your first and last name. They also ask where you attend school at, your ID number. Job applications ask for what grade are you currently in, your grade point average, how old are you, your birthday. In this case, how old will you be as of May 1st of this year? Job applications also ask what languages do you speak. They want to know how to reach you, so they'll ask for your phone number, different methods of contacting you, in this case your school email address and your personal email address, for example your Gmail or iCloud account. They want to know what position you're applying for. And this particular application is asking you to respond to 2 questions. I see some asterisks there. Let me scroll to the bottom to see what those asterisks entail. And at the top, that 1 asterisk means we need 2 to 3 complete sentences. One of the reasons that I'm so hard on you all when you all are writing is because business communications, or showing through writing in this case, that you belong, you know what you're talking about, usually relies on language arts mechanics. For example, no contractions in our writing. Using a capital letter I instead of a lowercase I. Having correct punctuation, having correct spelling, beginning our name, or sentences, and sentences with a capital letter. These things count in the world of work. Additionally, we have to answer in 2 to 3 sentences the first question, why are you interested in an internship with that organization? And what are you hoping to gain through your experience? Or what do you hope to accomplish from working this summer? This job application also asks for a teacher recommendation by you sharing their name, first and last name, and their email address. A personal recommendation, somebody who could vouch for you, who could speak on your behalf, someone who knows how you work. And that is that person's first and last name and their phone number. And then job applications usually want a resume, which is a one-page summary of your work experiences. Your unofficial transcripts. For us, we can obtain our transcripts from Infinite Campus. If you cannot locate your transcripts, then you can obtain them from your counselor, or I can get your transcripts for you. But transcripts summarize all of the classes you've taken in high school and all of the grades you've earned from them. Those are what transcripts are. And in some of these roles, they're asking for other documents. I see 2 asterisks. I'm going to go to the bottom to see what those other documents may be. And some of the jobs for this summer internship may ask for a cover letter. A cover letter is an introductory letter from you, the job applicant, to the employer, to the reader. The cover letter is about 2 paragraphs long, introducing yourself and what you want to do in the world of work. Some of these jobs are also asking for additional references. Some, not all, require driving, so they are asking you to upload a copy of your driver's license. And some, not all of the jobs, are asking to see how you write. In that case, they want a writing sample, and a writing sample could be a presentation or an essay that you received an A or a B from one of your classes. Again, the writing sample just demonstrates how you write. And can you write well with punctuation, capitalization, no spelling errors. As I continue, I see that in Google Classroom, in the Stream tab, if you are applying for jobs, I'm giving you my contact information for a reference. If you are in need of a reference, feel free to use me. Here's my first and last name, the address if they ask for it, my email address, and phone number. Again, I'm more than willing to vouch for you or to support. Yes, I've seen Livia work so well. She's so wise and smart. Great player on your team. Or, yes, I've seen Chris. He is outstanding in the world of work. I definitely recommend that you hire him. If you need a reference, use me for that. As we click on the link there, we see that it takes us to that job application, the same one that this QR code sent us to. I see on the right-hand side, though, they say students apply now, and we'll get to that in a moment. But let me just scroll down to see what they're offering on here. Again, this job application is due today. Here are the internship opportunities. And let me zoom in so our members in the back can see. One example of a job that is open. Maybe you don't want to go too far. Maybe you want to work for the city of Joliet. Okay, you can work at the Park and Theater this summer in the office. As I open up that drop-down menu, I see that they pay $18 an hour for 40 hours a week. All right, I really want to get serious. How much money will I make per week? $18 an hour times 40 hours a week. I'd bring home $720 a week working at this job here this summer. Or, I see Coil Plus Illinois Manufacturing. I noticed that they didn't have any applicants for them yet. At Coil Plus, they will pay $16 an hour, working 40 hours a week this summer. I want to see how much money that is. $16 an hour times 40 hours a week. Okay, a little different. I'd get paid $640 a week this summer. I'm going to continue down. Oh, another Joliet role at the YMCA. They're paying a different amount, $15.50 an hour for 28 hours a week. Let me do the math. $15.50 an hour times 28 hours a week. Oh, $434 an hour. Again, different jobs pay different amounts. But maybe I'm interested in operations or warehouse. Harbor Freight has one. Oh, Harbor Freight pays $23 an hour. 20 hours a week. Let me do that math. $23 an hour times 20 hours a week. $460 a week. I will not go through all of these roles, but I wanted you to see with your own eyes the fine print, to demystify, to show you how it's not so scary in the world of work. As I scroll back up though, I remember on this page, on the right-hand side, they said, hey, students, apply here now. So if I click on that link, that will take me to the application page. Looking at the questions that they're asking, we already were demystified. We saw that in Google Classroom. It's asking for our contact information, our first and last name, what school we go to, our student number, grade, GPA, birthday, contact information, the position that you're choosing, the space for those 2 to 3 sentences, answering those prompt questions, and the reference section. Again, feel free to use me or my name as a reference. Then we get to the application part where they want us to upload in a PDF format a resume, our transcripts, and other documents if requested in that role. After we've done that, then we hit complete. As I had mentioned to you earlier, one of the things that I notice about young people is that we don't necessarily know how to create a resume. And if you recall, inside of our workbook, there's a section that's asking you for your link to the resume. If you are applying for this job here, today, I'm going to take the time now to show you how we create a resume that is going to be needed within the next 6 to 8 weeks for our assignment. So I'm going to come back to Google Classroom. Now I'm going to the classwork tab. You can too. In the classwork tab, I'm going down to the resources section. And at the top of the resources section is the resume template. That resume template looks similar to this. And I'm asking you to use Microsoft Word to edit the template. The reason why: I created the resume in Microsoft Word, and I know we love Google Docs, but sometimes Microsoft and Google do not play well together. If you were to edit this resume in Google Docs, it may misalign, change the lines and the straightness of the resume. So please use Microsoft Word for it. And as you use Microsoft Word to edit it, I see at the bottom of it is a link to the resume template, and there are 5 directions for it that we'll see in a moment. The first direction is when you open up that link, I need you to download and save your own copy of the resume. Again, download and save your own copy of it. I would recommend saving the resume as, for example, resume of Monique Burey, resume for Arcadia Gordon, resume for Gio Gomez. Save it as your first name and last name so that you can find it easily. Again, open, download, then save your own copy. The second thing that we'll see in the resume in a moment is the blue content is what we're going to edit and change. Anything that has blue ink is what we're going to edit. However, because we are speaking the language of business, showing that we belong, indicating that, yes, I'm a professional person as well. Then I need for you to spell check it and make sure it has punctuation as well. Because I have indicated on the template that I'll show you shortly where to edit it in blue, when you are done making your changes, I need you to change all of that blue ink to black ink. We need the document to be uniform, no mismatched colors in there. Again, I will show you where to do this at momentarily, but it is important to not turn in something with two different color inks. These directions on the resume template are going to appear in a yellow box at the bottom. I definitely need you to delete that yellow box and the written directions in it. In order to indicate and show you belong, you are doing your best effort by putting on paper the resume. We don't need the directions on it. We don't need to show that we use the template. We want to illustrate that, yes, I am gifted, I can create my own resume, therefore remove the directions in the box on there that I'll show you momentarily. And before you hit send or print it off, have somebody proofread your resume. If you can't find anyone, I'm more than happy to proofread your resume for you, but do not send it off without having someone else look at it first. As you open up this document and you download it and you save it as your own name, it will look very similar to this here. As I shrink it for a moment, we see that the resume is a one-page document. Surely I'm going to zoom in, but there's that yellow box I was telling you about with the directions that you're going to delete. The resume is a one-page document that summarizes our work experiences. For our use, it's in blue and black ink. Everything that's blue is what you're going to select, highlight, and edit for your own use. Let me zoom in, though, so we can examine the pieces of a resume. A resume at the very top usually introduces you, the job seeker, to the reader or the employer. To introduce yourself, name who you are. Give your first and last name, please. I notice that that's blue ink, so that's indicating to us this is something you would select, edit, and update for your own use. Resumes also have your mailing address, your city, state, and zip code, your telephone number on where to reach you, and your email address. We need all of these introductory components or pieces in a resume. I do want to focus right here once more for the names. Please make sure that you have capitalized the first letter of your first name, capitalize the first letter of your last name. You are indicating that you are educated and can communicate in business sense. The next part of the resume includes the profile. The profile is usually a one-sentence summary of what you can do. I see some blue ink there for us to remember that we need to edit those spaces. But looking at the profile, a suggestion for you to use is, I'm a future expert with interest in blank and a career category focus of blank. That first blank for us could be a pathway. That second blank for us could be a career category. So as I backtrack, I'm a future expert with interest in teaching and learning, and a career category focus of education. Again, for that first space, you would indicate a pathway. And for this second space, you would indicate a career category, probably your assigned career category. The next part of the resume asks for your experiences, your work experience. When you are indicating your work experiences on resumes, you begin with your job title. You next state what company you worked for and where that company is located, the city and state of the company. You also indicate when you started that job, the month and the 4-digit year, and when you ended that job. If you're still there, leave it as present. The next part of the resume talks about your work experiences at that job in about 1 to 2 sentences. If I can be real and honest with the people of the room, resumes are our entry ticket to employers to show, I know how to speak and write, I belong. Resumes also indicate to employers, I'm ready for work. But here's the honest statement. Oftentimes, the words we put on resumes are bullshit. We just make fluffy things up to make it sound pretty. I see you nodding in agreement. We make it sound pretty so that the employer can say, oh, you're a good candidate. I want to bring them on my team. With that in mind, one of the job titles that I'm giving you here is a mentee. A mentee is like a student. A mentee would have a mentor, somebody teaching them or showing them things. We could have called ourselves students, but I dressed it up a little. A mentee. If your first job title is a mentee, then you worked as a mentee with SMEC Studio. You also worked within the Chicago, Illinois area. And some of the job duty, let me go back. You worked that role the beginning of this school year, August 2025, or 2024, until now. If we have to give a statement about what we did in that role, for every single one of us in here, as a mentee, we participated in CTE, or Career and Technical Education Programming. Orientation to Business is a CTE class. And in this programming, we included career exploration, for example, when we took that career interest survey. We also participated in directed studies when I gave you assignments to do related to your job experiences. We also conducted independent research where you looked up some things on your own related to your career category. And we focused on knowledge, skills, and abilities related to our own career category. I noticed that that's a blue space, so you enter your own career category there. All of us have this experience, and you're more than welcome to leave that job title there as it's written. Usually, though, we want to see that we've worked more than one place. And the highlights, again, of experiences talk about the job title, for which company, the city and state that the job was located in, how long we worked there, and a 1-sentence or 2-sentence summary stating what we did. If you are an elder in your family, and you've had to take care of younger siblings, younger cousins, younger neighbors, nieces and nephews, then one of your job titles is child care provider. As a child care provider, let's say, for example, this was Mr. Garcia. Mr. Garcia did child care providing at Garcia Babysitting Services. Name that company after yourself. Tell us where you worked at If Mr. Garcia did child care in Joliet, Illinois, awesome. And then if we're indicating what we did there, I provided safety and protection to elementary school students. Maybe you spend the summer helping the family out with the construction company. Awesome. Construction worker is your job title. And you did it for Almendarez Construction Company, located in Joliet, Illinois. As a construction worker, you did that for the past 4 summers. So you did that from May 2021 until present. And working in construction, I worked in the construction industry, helping to rehab homes. A 1-sentence statement. Maybe you worked in landscaping. You had to help Dad and them with the landscaping company. You had to cut grass every summer. Landscaper is your job title. Perhaps it was for Santian Gardening Services. Name it after yourself. That's located in the city and state of. You started that role 6 years ago from when you were a little kid. Great. You did that from May 2019 until present. Or if you ended it last summer, May 2019 until August 2024. And then working in landscaping for the family business, I worked in the agriculture industry, providing services to families or to community members or to customers. Maybe you worked at the movie theater, at the grocery store. Maybe you worked at Amazon. Then your job title was Customer Service Associate. Name the business or company that you worked in customer service at. And then I worked in the hospitality industry. Let's say, for example, if you worked at McDonald's or fast food, I worked in the hospitality industry servicing customers. Perhaps you volunteer at church. You have to clean up after all the parishioners have gone. You are a community service associate. You give community services to people. You did it for the church by the house, the name of it, where it's located. And by providing community services, you worked in the, well, your example statement would be, you worked in the nonprofit area, helping customers or helping parishioners. Maybe you had to take care of the old people in your family. Okay, that's fine. You were a personal care assistant. As a personal care assistant, you worked for Burey Services. And as a personal care assistant, you provided human services to people in need. Just a 1-sentence statement. The next part of the resume is the education piece. Usually you would put here your high school diploma, your college degrees, and for the case of us, because we're all high school students, we are working on a diploma right now. And our diploma is focused on college and career readiness for life after high school. We conducted that or did that at Joliet Township High School, District 204, located in the city and state of Joliet, Illinois. Here, you can give a 1-sentence statement. For example, I participated in dual credit classes, or I earned a GPA of 4.3, or I took classes at the local college as well, or I studied things such as orientation to business. Give about a 1-sentence statement about what you studied or did, highlights while you are in high school. You'd also indicate your year of graduation or year of expected graduation. If you're a senior, you're changing those two X's to May 2025. If you're a junior, May 2026. If you're a sophomore, May 2027. And if you're a freshman, you're changing that to May 2028. It is more than appropriate to include your projected or expected future graduation date. One of the last sections of the resume is the communication section. In the communication section, you are naming which languages you speak or write or read. The more, the better. Again, you don't have to be an expert. No one is necessarily going to give you a test on how well you speak these languages. Name them. Languages spoken: English, Spanish, American Sign Language, Polish, Portuguese, Italian, German, whatever. Name the languages that you speak or can communicate in. This is also an appropriate place to include the technology you know. So in this case, we're indicating software that we're familiar with. If you are an iPhone lover, iOS is the software you are versed at or know how to use. If you are an Android user, you're versed or accustomed to using Android software. Because we go to Google Classroom every day, you have Google Suite, S-U-I-T-E, Google expertise. Because you use our school email and you will edit this resume in Microsoft Word, you have Microsoft Office experience. We name it on the resume. The next section of the resume is the leadership and skills section. For the leadership section, you can indicate if you were a member of a team. For example, I was on the swim team. I was captain of the golf team. I was on the baseball team. I was in the esports club. And you can indicate skills that you have, similar